the earlier session, we studied about the nature, process and causes of volcanic activity. Volcanoes, even though is an endogenetic process on the surface, it produces a variety of landforms evolved from the volcanic materials. As a geographer, our interest lies in understanding various volcanic landforms that are seen on the surface of the earth. In this session, we will try to explore what are these landforms. The basic aim of this session is to study about the volcanic topography, to study the world spatial distribution pattern of volcanoes. Volcanism is a process by which materials from the interior of the earth moves to or towards the earth's surface. Numerous types of landforms are evolved due to the cooling and solidification of magma below the earth's surface and lava at the earth's surface. Besides lava, fragmental material like dust and ash also is ejected as a part of volcanism. The accumulation of volcanic material produces variety of landscape. The volcanic landscape is also an outcome of the nature of volcanic eruption. That is, whether the volcanic eruption is central type or fissure type. The landforms produced by the entire process of volcanism are grouped into two categories. 1. Extrusive landforms. 2. Intrusive landforms. Extrusive landforms are those volcanic landforms which are evolved on the surface of the earth. The extrusive landforms are either formed from A. Volcanic type of eruption or B. Fissure type of eruption. From the volcanic explosive type of volcanic eruption can be further classified as elevated landforms and depressed landforms. The elevated topographic features produced by explosive type of eruption are 1. Volcanic cone, 2. Cinder or ash cone, 3. Composite cone, 4. Parasitic cones, 5. Lava domes, 6. Lava plugs. Volcanic cones. Depending on the nature of lava, the volcanic cones can be classified as basic lava cone and acidic lava cone. Basic lava cone is formed which is lighter in color and less viscous in nature. Basic lava will have less silica content. Basic lava, which is less viscous and cools and solidifies after spreading over a large distance. Basic cones are characterized by long cone significantly with low height and gentle slope. Basic cones are also called as shield cones. These cones are also called as Hawaiian type of cones. Acid lava cones are formed from the acidic lava, which is highly viscous in nature and rich in silica content. Acidic type of lava is characterized by very low mobility and hence they are immediately cooled and solidified after reaching the earth's surface. The acidic lava cones will have higher elevation with steep slopes. For example, Strombolian type of cone, cinder or ash cones. Such type of volcanic cones are formed of pyroclastic or fragmental material such as volcanic dust, volcanic ash and cinder. Such cones are devoid of lava. They are typically small volcanoes. They occur in groups and rarely attain a height greater than 1000 feet. Generally, such cones will have a large central crater with a steep slope. Near the crater, there will be accumulation of coarser material. Composite cones. As the term stands, the composite cones are formed by composite volcanic materials. Composite cones are formed due to the deposition of different layers of volcanic materials such as pyroclastic material and lava. It suggests that the volcanic eruption was explosive for some time and lava flow is quiet. These cones are formed due to the deposition of alternate layers of lava and fragmental material, wherein lava will act as a cementing material for the compaction of fragmental material. Such volcanic cones are formed due to the accumulation of different layers or strata of materials, hence called as stratocones. Since the cone is coated with thick layer of lava, such cones becomes relatively less resistant to erosion. Parasite cones. When the volcanic cone rises greater height, the lava encounters greater difficulty in reaching the top of the vent and finds it easier to come out from the sides of the volcanic cone. Several such cracks develops in the form of pipes and branches out from the main central vent. Lava and some other volcanic materials come out through the subsidiary pipe-like openings and get deposited around the newly formed subsidiary vent along the sides of the main volcanic cone. Thus, several small cones are formed on the outer surface of the main cone. These cones are called as parasite cones because the supply of lava for these cones comes from the main cone. These cones are also called as adventive cones. Lava domes. Lava domes are similar to shield cones in one way or another. Lava domes differ from the shield cones as regards to their size. Lava domes are larger and more extensive in size. Lava domes are larger and more extensive in size than the shield cones. Such domes are formed due to less viscous lava, which cools and solidifies after spreading larger area. Lava domes have less proportion of tephra. Lava plugs. Lava plugs are generally associated with extinct volcano. Lava plugs are formed due to the plugging of the volcanic vent. The plugging or the blocking is due to the cooling and solidification of lava within the vent of the volcano. The solidified lava filled volcanic vent is called as volcanic neck. Volcanic necks are mostly cylindrical in shape and measures 50 to 60 feet height from the surface. Depressed landforms produced by the explosive or central type of volcanic eruptions are craters, calderas. Craters. The depression formed on the top of the volcanic cone or the mouth of the volcanic vent is called as crater. Usually the crater or the volcanic mouth is funnel shaped. The size of the crater depends upon the size of the volcanic cone. The size of the crater increases with increase and expansion of the cone. When the crater is filled with rainwater, it is termed as crater lake. Crater lakes are generally associated with extinct volcano. When the crater of the volcano becomes very extensive and if there are few eruptions of very small intensity, after a long time, several small cones are formed within the extensive older crater. Thus, several small size craters are formed at the mouth of the volcanic vents inside the extensive crater. Such small craters is called as nested craters or craters within the craters. Calderas. Calderas are the enlarged form of the crater with very large size. There are two schools of thought regarding the formation of calderas. According to some scientists, a caldera is an enlarged form of crater and it is surrounded by steep walls from all sides. The caldera is formed due to the subsidence of the crater. For example, Aso crater of Japan and Crater Lake of USA are the result of subsidence. Another school of thought is of the opinion that calderas are formed due to violent explosive eruption of the volcano. Fissure type of volcanic eruption are very few as compared with the central type of volcanic eruption. The landform associated with fissure eruption includes lava plateaus or lava domes, lava plains. Lava plateaus is the most extrusive landform associated with fissure type of volcanic eruption. Magma erupts through long fissures and spreads over a large area and cools and solidifies in the form of a vast sheet of lava. The initial formation of the lava plateau can be in the form of a lava plain. Many a times the magma fails to reach the surface of the earth and cools and solidifies below the surface in the form of intrusion in the crevices, fissures, joints, bedding planes of sedimentary rocks, etc. Such volcanic deposits in the form of lava are called as intrusive form of volcanicity. They may become visible upon exposure after denudation of the overlying rocks. The major features of intrusive volcanic features are in the form of igneous rocks formation. Depending on their shape, the intrusive volcanic features are classified as dikes, sills, laccoliths, faccolith, lapoliths and batholiths. Dikes are formed when magma cools and solidifies in vertical joints, fissures in the vent of the volcano. They are narrow vertical wall-like feature, sometimes several kilometers long. When exposed through denudation, they appear like ridges. Some dikes are exposed in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Sills. Intrusion of magma and its cooling and solidification in the horizontal bedding planes and fissure leads to the formation of horizontal sheets of magma called as sill. Such intrusions are present in mountains, and when they get exposed on the slopes due to the denudation, such exposed part of the sills form terraces on the hill slopes. Laccoliths. Sometimes lava intrusion pushes the sedimentary rocks upwards from below and form a dome-shaped feature below the surface. Such dome-shaped intrusions of lava is called as laccoliths. They vary great in deal in extent and thickness. On exposure to the surface, they appear in the form of low dome-shaped hills. Faccoliths. Faccoliths are lens-shaped intrusions formed in the bottoms of the synclines and top of the anticlines in the folded sedimentary rocks. In thick sedimentary strata, they are arranged one above the another between various layers of rocks. Lapoliths. Lapoliths are saucer-shaped intrusions of large size which is concave upwards. Some of them vary in size. Batholiths. Batholiths are very large intrusion of irregular shape and their base is at great depth in the interior of the earth. They form the core of the old mountains. Smaller batholiths are called as stalks. They are the largest and massive intrusive igneous features. In the volcanic activity, lava and fragmental material is most commonly ejected as a part of volcanic eruption. In some few cases, the volcanic eruption is only in the form of hot water or gases. The features which are associated with such type of volcanic activity includes geysers, hot springs and fumaroles. Geysers. Geysers are a type of hot spring which sprouts hot water and steam from time to time. The term geyser has been derived from an Icelandic word geyser, which means gusher or spouter. The word was used to indicate spouting water of hot springs of Iceland known as Great Geyser. Geyser represents minor form of broader process of volcanicity. Geysers mostly found in Yellowstone National Park in USA. The Old Faithful Geyser in the Yellowstone National Park in the state of Wyoming in USA is most well known for its regularity of eruption. Geysers are found in Rotorua area of North Island in New Zealand. In Iceland also, geysers are common. Then hot springs. Springs are the sources of water from which water flows on its own continuously. Some of the springs provide hot water and they are called as hot springs or thermal springs. Water emerges or reaches the surface from the interior of the earth slowly without any noise or explosive force. Sulfur is common mineral leading to the formation of hot springs. Hot water emerging from the springs contain such minerals, especially sulfur, which has a medicinal value. Fumaroles. Fumaroles is the type of volcanic eruption in which there is an emission of gases and water vapor only through the vent of the volcano. It appears from the distance that there is an emission of enormous volume of smoke or fumes from the volcano. The smoke or gas emitting through the vents are called as fumaroles. Emission of gases and water vapor begins after the eruption of volcanic material is terminated in an active volcano. The gases and water vapor is generated due to the cooling and contraction of magma after the termination of the eruption of the volcano. Fumaroles are the last sign of activeness of the volcano. Water vapor constitutes nearly 98% of the total gases emitted from the fumaroles. Another gases includes carbon dioxide, hydrochloric acid and hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen and ammonia. The spatial distribution of volcanoes over the world is well marked and defined. The world distribution of volcanoes reveals that they are associated with the weaker zones of the Earth's crust and are closely associated with seismic activity. The weaker zones of the Earth's crust or the crustal instability are represented by fold mountains that includes Rocky Mountains of North America, Andes Mountains of South America, mountains of East Asia and the Himalayas. Volcanic activity is closely associated with the mountain building activity and fracturing. Volcanoes are also associated with meeting zones of continents and oceans, especially in the Pacific Ocean. There is a close relationship between plate margins and volcanicity, as most of the active volcanoes are associated with the plate boundaries. 80% of the volcanoes are associated with the destructive or convergent plate boundaries. There are some major zones of volcanoes in the world, such as 1. Circum-Pacific Belt, 2. Mid-continental belt, 3. Mid-oceanic belt. Besides this, there are also intraplate volcanic activity. Circum-Pacific Belt. The Circum-Pacific Belt encircles the Pacific Ocean. This belt includes volcanoes of eastern and western coastal areas of Pacific Ocean, or the western coastal margins of North and South Americas, and the eastern coastal margins of Asia. This belt also includes island arcs and festoons of the coast of Asia and scattered volcanic islands in the Pacific Ocean. This belt begins from Erebus Mountains of Antarctica and runs northward through Andes and Rockies Mountains of North America. and South Americas to reach Alaska. From there, this belt turns towards the eastern Asiatic coast to include the volcanic islands like Sakhalin, Kamchatka, Kuril, Aleutian, Japan, Philippines, etc. This belt ultimately merges with the East Indies. Mid-continental belt. This belt includes the volcanoes of Mediterranean Sea, alpine mountain chains and the fault zones of East Africa. This belt stretches from the Mediterranean Sea towards Himalayas, from the eastern end of Himalayas. This belt turns south extending to Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It merges into Circum-Pacific belt in the Indonesia. The major mountains included in this belt are the mountains of Alpine and Himalayan system. Mid-Atlantic belt. This belt includes the volcanoes associated with the mid-Atlantic ridges. The volcanic activity is mostly in the form of fissure eruption. Fissure eruption caused due to the divergence of the plates from the mid-Atlantic ridge. Mid-Atlantic ridge is a zone of constructive or divergent plate boundaries. The most active volcanic area in Iceland, which is located on the mid-Atlantic ridge. This belt starts from Hekla volcanic mountain of Iceland. Iceland is located on the mid-Atlantic ridge, representing the splitting zone of the American plate moving westwards and Eurasian plate moving eastwards, and hence there is a constant upwelling of magma along the mid-Atlantic ridges. Fissure flow of lava occurs because of the fractures created due to the divergence of the plate. Other more active volcanic areas are Lesser Antilles, Southern Antilles, Azores, St. Helena, etc. Intraplate volcanoes. Scattered volcanoes are also found in the inner parts of the continents, which do not constitute the plate boundaries. The mechanism of their eruption is not yet precisely known. Volcanicity in the inner parts of the continental plates include the massive fissure eruption occurred in the northwestern parts of North America during the Miocene period. Basaltic lava spread over very large areas in the form of Columbian Plateau. Similarly, fissure flows of lava occurred in peninsular India, forming Deccan Plateau. It is thus seen that volcanicity includes all the processes and mechanisms which are related to the eruption of magma, gases, water vapor, and hot water from the interior of the earth. The manifestation of the volcanic activity in the form of various landforms reveal that it produces various features below the earth's surface and above the earth's surface. The endogenetic mechanism of volcanicity includes intrusion of hot magma and its cooling and solidification in various shapes and forms below the earth's surface, such as batholiths, laccoliths, sills, dike, etc. The exogenous mechanism includes the process of appearance of lava and fragmental material like volcanic dust and ashes and cinders, etc., and hot gases and water. The volcanic eruption can be explosive or central type or quiet or fissure type. The extrusive landform includes volcanic cones, lava plateau, cinder cones, etc.